I've never, ever cheated the game.
Why did LeBron James admit that some players truly pushed him to the edge? Why did certain rivals make him feel like his entire career was under siege? Why were there moments when even the king himself looked like he had no answers? And could these names reveal the deepest wounds and hidden grudges of his legendary career? Were these the men who kept him awake at night, forcing him to transform into the player we know today? Today, we uncover the 6 players LeBron James hated the most. Let's begin. Number 1. Paul Pierce. Paul Pierce. The truth. If there was one man who made LeBron's early years in the league a living nightmare, it was Pierce. Their rivalry came to life in the 2008 Eastern Conference semifinals. Game 7 in Boston. LeBron dropped 45 points, playing like a man possessed. But Pierce answered with 41 of his own, leading the Celtics to a crushing victory. That night was more than a game. It was a war. Both men trading buckets, staring each other down, refusing to break. But at the end, Pierce's smile said it all. He had slammed the door on LeBron's dreams. Their battles were never just basketball. Trash talk, physical clashes, and even heated altercations became common whenever the Cavaliers met the Celtics. Once, during a playoff game, the tension grew so high that both benches nearly erupted after LeBron and Pierce went chest to chest. Pierce was the symbol of resistance. He stood in the way of LeBron's rise, and along with Kevin Garnett and Ray Allen, built a fortress in Boston that LeBron simply couldn't break through. For years, Pierce was the reason why LeBron couldn't touch the finals. And deep down, that stung. Pierce wasn't just an opponent. He was a gatekeeper. A man who forced LeBron to consider leaving Cleveland and taking his talents to Miami. Without Pierce, there is no Heat super team. Without Pierce, LeBron might never have evolved into the ruthless king he became. But that respect doesn't erase the hate. To LeBron, Pierce will always be one of those faces he never wanted to see across the court. Number 2. Kevin Garnett. If Pierce broke LeBron's heart with buckets, Garnett tried to crush his soul with intensity. Kevin Garnett wasn't just a basketball player. He was a force of nature. Loud, ferocious, and relentless. His defense and his mouth worked together like weapons. Every playoff series against the Celtics was psychological warfare. Garnett lived to intimidate, to scream in LeBron's face, to remind him that Boston wasn't afraid. In 2010, when LeBron's Cavaliers lost to the Celtics in the second round, many pointed to Garnett as the emotional leader who broke them. LeBron has admitted before that those Celtics battles changed him. They hardened him. They forced him to seek a new path. And Garnett was the center of that storm. Imagine being LeBron, talent beyond measure, putting up insane numbers. Yet every time you ran into Boston, Garnett was there to laugh in your face, to pound his chest, to let you know that you weren't ready. That burns. That leaves scars. And no matter how much LeBron later overcame Garnett's Celtics, he will never forget the man who made him feel powerless. Garnett wasn't just a rival. He was an enemy in every sense of the word. Number 3. Kawhi Leonard. 2014, the NBA Finals. The Miami Heat were chasing history, led by a LeBron James who was at the peak of his powers. But across the court stood a quiet, unassuming young forward, Kawhi Leonard. Leonard wasn't a trash talker. He didn't scream or taunt. He didn't need to. His defense spoke louder than words. Possession after possession, Kawhi made LeBron uncomfortable. Every shot contested, every drive blocked off, every pass disrupted. That series ended in disaster for the Heat. The Spurs destroyed Miami in 5 games. And the Finals MVP? Kawhi Leonard. He earned it by doing the impossible, slowing down LeBron James. LeBron himself admitted Kawhi was one of the toughest defenders he ever faced. Cameras once caught LeBron muttering under his breath when Kawhi checked into the game. Damn, his back. That one clip told fans everything. LeBron didn't want to see Kawhi on the floor. It wasn't just about losing a championship. It was about pride. Being the best in the world, only to be humbled by a 22-year-old. That embarrassment turned Kawhi into a permanent figure of hate in LeBron's mind. Not because Kawhi was dirty or loud, but because he exposed cracks in the King's armor. Number 4. Draymond Green. If Pierce and Garnett were LeBron's tormentors in the East, Draymond Green became his West Coast nemesis. The Cavaliers and Warriors clashed in the finals 4 straight years. And at the heart of Golden State's chaos stood Draymond. Draymond was loud, emotional, and unafraid to go at LeBron directly. Their feud hit its peak in the 2016 finals. In Game 4, after a heated exchange, Draymond struck LeBron and got suspended for Game 5. That moment shifted the entire series. Cleveland stormed back from a 3-1 deficit, completing the greatest comeback in finals history. But don't let that fool you. Draymond never stopped coming. Every finals, he was there, barking in LeBron's ear, shoving him under the basket, making every possession a war. LeBron respected Draymond's fire, but respect doesn't erase hatred. Deep down, he hated how Draymond could get under his skin, how he could drag the Cavaliers into foul trouble, how he could disrupt the flow with one technical foul. Draymond wasn't the best scorer, but he was the Warriors' soul. And to LeBron, that made him one of the most despised opponents he ever faced. Number 5. Stephen Curry. If there's one name that has haunted LeBron's legacy more than any other, it's Stephen Curry. LeBron entered the 2010s as the unquestioned king of basketball. But Curry's rise changed the game forever. His three-point shooting revolutionized the sport, and his Warriors became a dynasty that repeatedly stood in LeBron's way. 2015, 2017, 2018, the finals belonged to Curry. Even when LeBron played some of the best basketball of his life, it wasn't enough. Curry's Warriors were too powerful, too deadly. LeBron once called their style of play a cheat code. And when you're on the other end of a cheat code, it feels impossible. Curry didn't just beat LeBron. He challenged his throne. Fans started asking questions. Who really defined this era? Was it LeBron, the king? Or was it Curry, the revolutionary shooter? That question still lingers. And that's why, no matter how much respect exists today, LeBron will always feel a sting when he hears Curry's name. Because Curry wasn't just a rival. He was the one man who made the king's crown feel fragile. Number 6. Jimmy Butler. The final name on this list is Jimmy Butler. The 2020 NBA Finals inside the Orlando bubble created a rivalry that felt raw and personal. LeBron's Lakers were the heavy favorites, but Jimmy Butler refused to back down. In Game 3, Butler dropped a triple-double and shouted across the court, "You're in trouble." That wasn't just trash talk, it was a direct challenge to LeBron's pride. For the rest of the series, Butler went toe-to-toe with LeBron, giving the Lakers everything they could handle. LeBron ultimately won the championship, but he knew he had been pushed to the brink by a man who simply wouldn't quit. That type of opponent gets under your skin. LeBron respected Butler's fight, but there was also a simmering hate. Because when someone dares to stare down the king and call him out, it leaves a scar. Jimmy Butler may not have beaten LeBron, but he made sure the king never forgot his name.